Hey, what's up, everybody? I have a question. Have you or are you being controlled by a narcissist by them using the idea of privacy to control you and to devalue you? Let's get into this. Let's say you start dating somebody and you two are in the courting phase. Basically, you're allowing this person to come to your house. They get to be in your bedroom. They get to see whatever. And you're basically allowing your space to be their space as well, too. And you're not trying to keep them out of certain things. It's because you want them to feel like they are a part of your world and they get to have access into your world. But on the flip side of this, the narcissist has a very specific set of rules at their household. First, you're always confined to the front room or the living room or something of that nature. You're confined to only a certain piece of the area. And, oh yes, you never get a chance to actually see their bedroom at all. Never. And I understand maybe like the first month or 2 months or whatever, but if you get into the point where you are gotten to 8 months into a relationship and you never get a chance to actually see their bedroom, not a single time, something is up. Something is up, and it also is them trying to build a superiority type of complex in your mind about them. They want you to feel like you're so privileged just to simply speak to them or be around them, even if it feels like you two are being babysitted. Like, let's say you two are in your late 20s or something of that nature, or in your 30s, but yet you're confined to the living room and there just so happens to be a mom. Let's say they still live with their mom, live with their parents, whatever the case may be. But you're confined to the living room where you're being supervised at all times. You can't be an actual adult couple worth anything. That's a red flag, I would say. If from the very get-go, that when they come to your house, you two get to go in your bedroom. You get to spend time in your bedroom, watch movies, relax. But if you never get to do that with them, that's a red flag. That's a situation where they are controlling the narrative. Do you understand what I'm saying? You feel like you're being watched. I don't give a damn what the mom is doing. I don't care what the dad is doing. I really don't care about those aspects. But it just seems like they want to keep things at a certain base level. Most likely, this is some bullshit here. This is the bullshit meter going off really rapidly right here. This is a situation where you're dealing possibly with a narcissist that has a controlling type of issue. They want to control the narrative. They want to control how things are looked or how they're seen. And they want to keep a situation where you have just enough access to be able to please them and to be a part of their life and to fill their cup up, right? But when it comes to, equal give and take here, they're failing at this. They want full access to all of your things, and they want to be fully a part of your world. But if they're keeping you at arm's length when it comes to their world, or you have only a certain amount of levels you can get to, like let's say you're invited to Six Flags, you're invited to a theme park, and the person said, hey, I want to spend time with you. We got this whole theme park to enjoy. Let's do this. You start going to a certain ride. You're like, oh, that looks fun. Actually, you start looking down and there is yellow tape across that thing. You cannot walk past the yellow tape. And that person says, oh, sorry, we can't really go to this ride. Let's try the next one. So you start walking over to the next ride, another one that looks interesting to you. But what do you know? There's freaking yellow tape on that too. Okay? There's a big roller coaster that looks fun as hell. You start making your way over there. And, of course, there is yellow tape on that too. Like, what's going on here? So basically, what you're starting to understand is that all of the so-called big kid rides are pretty much cut off with yellow tape all over the motherfucker. I mean, you cannot do anything. You cannot go anywhere. You can't go anywhere near these very fun, fantastic rides. But there's a little baby ride over there that looks so boring and plain Jane. I'm talking about those those rides. I think I forgot the exact name of them. Those little rides that go in a little circle and has those horses, little decorated horses and stuff. And it just goes round and round, and that's it. You're allowed to go to that one with this person. But here's the kicker. All of a sudden, let's say their brother and sister, or siblings, or other friends come up, and next you know, they're like, oh, wow, hey, babe, I'll be right back. I'm going to go ahead and do this with them. And then those same rides that you couldn't go because there was yellow tape, because you were with that person, but when they go with their other people, their other friends, their brother, sister, whoever that they value, all of a sudden the yellow tape disappears. And they are entering the rides. They're doing fun things. They're doing the big kid rides, and you're stuck on the cheap seats, the little baby rides with this person, but you're not allowed to do the actual fun, enjoyable things. I'm telling you, that's what a narcissistic relationship feels like. The narcissist will have you do boring, mundane things like sitting up watching movies together, but you don't get to go and do actual fun things like go out to certain bars. You don't get to go to the concerts with them. You don't get to do anything with them, but all of a sudden they can find the motivation. They can find the idea that they want to do something fun and interesting, but they do it with other people. Now, if you're their boyfriend or girlfriend, why the hell do they want to do this with you? Why is it that they only want to do this with brothers and sisters and siblings and family members or whatever the case may be and friends, but they don't want to do it with you? I would say that's a red flag. I would say that's a superiority type of play on your mind to make you feel like, you know, you're just so lucky that they're speaking to you. You're just so lucky that they just so happen to do little small mundane things when they're broke, they don't have no money, or they're sad and they're down and out. But then when they're happy, yes, there is no yellow tape on what they can do with other people. But with you, it's always yellow tape all over the place. You gotta discover and understand the lines here. You gotta understand the play here. The play for your mind. The play for your worthiness. The play to make you feel like you're not enough. You're not enough to go on those fun, entertaining rides that are worthwhile, that are bankable, like, you know what I mean? I'm talking about making memories that you want to take pictures of and have happiness about that, and you want to be able to reflect on that years later. But if you notice that you're only meant to do certain mundane things, like you're only meant for certain things in this narcissist life, but then they go ahead and go all out with other people, there's a good chance that they're just using you for some type of ego boost. They're using you as some type of placeholder. They want to make you feel as if you don't matter. They want you to feel like, yes, you are restricted. You are very much so restricted when it comes to them. And you could be a cold-ass person. You can have a very good personality. You can have a light that's truly beaming from you. And other people can see that. Other people would like to enjoy that. But this particular narcissist, they're so afraid of being outshined by you. They're so afraid that you may discover your self-worth. Hell, they may be afraid that you may discover that there really ain't shit going on with this person. They're worried about that. They're worried that you might say, you know what, I deserve better than this. I'm out of here. But the narcissist is so hell-bent on controlling the narrative, controlling you inside of a box. You know what I mean? They keep you in a box, keep you secluded from things. Also, you're not allowed to really say you can't make it to something either. They want you to prioritize all of what they want to do, but when it comes to anything you want to do, they either leave it on red, don't answer, or just change the subject. That's not a good thing either. They will keep you at arm's length all the time, but they demand you to still entertain them, still be their so-called rock during their sad days, during the days when they have a temper and an attitude. If they do go out with you, they put very bare minimal effort. And I'm talking about a person that is usually beautiful, but they're beautiful when it comes to the right type of person or people. Let's say if you are their intimate partner, but whenever it's time to go out on a date or whatever, they look like they just rolled out of bed and they didn't even try. But when it comes to doing something with their brother or sister or something like that nature, all of a sudden they go all out and you just so happen to not be going. That's a red flag. I would say that they're trying to make themselves look available to other people outside of your relationship. And you know what? Maybe you don't even have a relationship. They're lying to you and telling you that you have something that's substantial when you have nothing. It goes back to what the idea I did for another video called "You Gave Up Everything to Be Their Nothing." They want to be your everything, and they want you to give up everything. But while you do that, they view you as nothing. They don't want you to feel like you really have value. They don't want you to feel like you got anything. They don't want you to feel like you're worth being around. Even though they may demand you to be around. They may ask you to come to their place. They may ask you to go places, but there's always some type of bullshit that comes up into this to where it seems like you can only go so far when it comes to your happiness with this person. You can only get so far with it because they're constantly capping you at your true ability to be happy. I mean, you two could be on a level of like this, way up there, but they want to keep it down here and make sure you don't pass that yellow tape, you don't pass that buffer, because they want to constantly make sure that you feel not really inserted into their inner circle. They want you to feel like an outsider all the time. They want you to have that feeling like, geez, I don't really belong. I really wish they would finally actually allow me to be a part of this or be a part of that. That's the trap. And then here you are trying to find ways to prove your worthiness to this person. You're trying so hard to be accepted by this person that has already made up in their mind that you're not supposed to be there. But when it comes to your life, they want to make sure that they are in every facet of your life. They want to be able to trample on through whenever they want, especially when they're bored. But when you're bored and you want to be a part of their life and you want to go and do things with them, they have a bunch of restrictions. And this makes the relationship not fun. It makes it restrictive. It makes it irritating. It makes it feel like you are so small and insignificant in their world. But they want to take the celebrity status with you. They want to be up at a higher level in your mind, but they really ain't shit and really just a piece of shit, if I'm just going to be honest with you, because they're not being honest with you with this type of moves. They're not being honest with you. They are using your kindness against you. They may say little small things. You know, when you start to call them out, when you start to notice the inconsistencies with things, and you start to say, hey, that's not right. They may come up with some way to say, oh, ain't you Sherlock Holmes, or oh, ain't you being a smart cookie? Damn right. You are being a smart ass cookie and you are catching on to their bullshit. Yes, you are. Yes. Damn right. I'm telling you, when these people are starting to be called out, they will come up with some of the most silliest things to say to deflect the situation and to knock you off your A game when you were calling them out. They call it word salad. Throwing in a subject that has nothing to do with what you are telling them. Hey, I noticed what you're doing here. I noticed that you're putting in a whole lot of effort with other people, whether it be your brother and sisters, whether it be with other family members or other friends or questionable people that probably are secret lovers in the background. I notice what you're doing, and I notice the half-assed nature you're doing with me, and I don't like this. I don't like where this is going. I don't like how this freaking looks. And are you controlling when you say that? Are you a bad person when you say that? No. You are acknowledging your humanity, because this asshole is not doing it. They're not going to acknowledge your humanity because they want to keep sure. They want to make sure that you feel like you have to be quiet. You have to dim your light. Dim it out. You can't be more than them. You can't be naturally who you are. You can't be your natural born self. If you have confidence or there is something that is special about you, they don't want you to highlight that about yourself because they want to be the main star. But the problem with this idea for them is that they are dull inside. This person likes to imitate most of the time. They usually don't have very much of a creative soul in their body, a creative niche or anything that really makes them stick out from the rest. They're always trying to follow the crowd, and they're always trying to pay so much detail to what other people think of them. And this is what stops them from being happy. You'll notice this too, where they can't just simply do something, that's, okay to do. They have to always do a big bang type of situation to make other people turn their heads. Ooh. They can't just be a normal person. They want the celebrity status without actually putting in the damn work, ladies and gentlemen. They want the celebrity status without putting in the work. They want to have you to view them in some sort of trophy-like type of setting. Simps will do this, and people who are suckers for love will do this, even if they know fully well they're not being treated all that good. But they will take the crumbs because they think this person is some sort of trophy. This person has some type of status that's tied around them in some way, shape, or form. But I'm here to tell you that I don't care what the narcissist looks like. I don't care what the narcissist, wallet looks like. If they're not treating you well, if they're keeping you at arm's length, if they're trying to ensure that you're only allowed at the most mundane, boring rides at the freaking fair, but they reserve themselves for the best, biggest rides for other people. I don't care if it's family or friends, whatever the case may be. That's a metaphor for how they view the relationship with you. That's a metaphor for how they view you. If a person puts their lousiest, low-tier, low-grade effort on what they appear to be, whether we're talking about going on dates or they're just attempts at showing effort, if it's low-grade as hell when it comes to you, but all of a sudden it's high status or a high level of effort with other people that are not you, and you're supposed to be in a relationship with this person, and these other people are siblings, just siblings, honestly, that is a red flag. And I'm saying that is pretty much a good indicator that you need to get out of that situation. It's a way, a ploy to keep you in a lower mindset of things, to keep you to thinking that you need to just accept the lowest common denominator just to be around this person. But they sit up and want you to put your best foot forward. They want you to look handsome or look pretty for them to do stuff, but then they don't do it in return. Or they want, they want you to have all of your time reserved for them, but their time is not reserved for you. Certain rooms, certain places, certain aspects of life is always yellow taped off from you. You're only allowed to go so far within a home. You're only allowed to go so far into the fair. But with other people, they won't have those restrictions. Other people will not have those restrictions against them. They will not be held against them. They will be allowed to enjoy whatever the hell they want. And you will be sitting off in the sidelines watching this. I've experienced this before, ladies and gentlemen. I remember the times when I dated a certain someone to where I would put my absolute best foot forward. And I'm not trying to make myself look like, that I had no problems or faults. I had my own faults too. But here's the thing. I always made sure that I looked handsome for this person. I always made sure that I looked and smelled nice for this woman, right? But she was doing that at first, at the very beginning, at first. But then it stopped. And then what I noticed is that she would get all perked up and look pretty and everything for her brother and sister to go out to clubs or go out to concerts, whatever the case may be. But, you know, that energy was never given to me. But yet I was supposed to be the person that she could run to or go to when she was sad about something, when something wasn't going right, when she wanted someone to pick her up, when she wanted somebody to fill up her cup. And you know what? I was doing that. I was pouring into her. I was pouring my light into her. But when it came for my cup, and I reached over for my cup to reach for her to actually, I'm just looking for her to pour into my cup too, right? All of a sudden, she got to go. All of a sudden, she doesn't have the energy to do anything when it comes to actually pouring back into me. She had to go ahead and get into the getaway. She had to leave. She had to get into the getaway car and go on. So while she was down, she wanted my energy to bring her on up, to bring in her own cup, to fill up that cup all the way up, giving her reassurance that she wasn't a bad person and this and that. But then what did I see? Look on Facebook a few hours later, and she's out partying. She's out having fun. She's out going to a concert or something. She's doing something else with somebody else. And here I am holding the bag, or maybe not even holding the bag at all. Damn, not holding anything, but except in looking in complete sorrow and disappointment with the situation, saying, you know, it's amazing how I get to see her at her absolute worst. And then I get to witness this person give her best effort to other people who would not even take her to the damn hospital for a doctor's visit. People who are around her all the time won't even offer her to go to a doctor's visit. She need to go. But me, the person who she does not give any effort to, me, the person she has yellow tape over every damn thing when it comes to fun or any type of experiences that are worth remembering, I'm the guy who she calls and expects to fully do those things and be there for her. That's not a good thing to do, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, don't allow yourself to be put in a position like that. I understand what it feels when you are deeply into somebody and you love them so much, but pay attention to how they love you too, please. Don't only pay attention to how much you love them. You've got to test them too. I'm not saying test for playing mind games, but you have to sit back and wait and see what are they wanting to do for you too. You can't be the only person who's excited to see them smile. They have to be excited to see you smile too. And they have to be willing to do things to make you smile just as much, just like how you're doing for them. It has to be an equal give and take. If not, then what is the point of doing this? That's all I'm trying to say. Please have some self-respect for yourself. If you notice that you are willing to cross oceans, climb mountains for this person to make them happy, but yet this person complains over doing the smallest thing and then tries to say that you're controlling once you realize that you're being taken for a fool, and they want to use this whole idea that you're trying to control them when you're just asking for mutual respect. You've got to put respect in your name and say, you know what, forget it. If you're not willing to give me what I deserve, then I'm going to have to go away. And I will not feel bad about this. I'm not going to try to even feel bad about it because I'm asking you to show effort too, and you are half-assing yourself to the point to where it is sickening. I cannot do this. I don't want to be a part of this anymore. And you don't have to feel sorry for that. You don't have to. They may try to pull this whole, you know what? If you really love me, you would be there and you would show support and you would, no, fuck that. If you were an actual good person, if you actually had a soul that was worth having, you would say, you know what? I'm messing up. I can actually do more than what I'm doing here. I'm sorry that I've been making you feel less than. That's not what I wanted to do here. I want more for us. Cool. But if they can't do that, forget it. Don't do it. No. Because I'm telling you what's going to happen. If you continue to keep going down that road with this person, if you continue to allow this person to act like they're Batman or Batwoman, where you can only go to certain portions of the house or whatever the case may be. And then all the cool gadgets, all the cool stuff that is a part of their life, they're keeping that a secret. They're keeping the Batmobile a secret. They're keeping the batarangs. They're keeping all the cool shit away from you. They only want you to be sitting in the living room with Alfred, talking with him, and that's it. No, don't do that, please. Go to be with somebody that is going to allow you access to all portions of their life. Not just small rooms, small insignificant bullshit things that they think is so cool because it's tied to them. I don't think so. That's just my message for today, and I hope everyone has a lovely day, okay? Bye-bye. Peace.